Last year, Jen Weaver developed a severe case of COVID.
Over Thanksgiving and early December in the hospital, trying to fight for my life as hard as I could. Narrowly missed going on the ventilator, but I did rally and I managed to be discharged in the beginning of December and went home. Everything was difficult. The fatigue, just doing anything, it feels like it's coming from your very bones. You can't do it. Going 25, 30 feet to the restroom would tank my oxygen saturation down to the low 70s. I would get dizzy. My heart rate was erratic all over the place. It was exhausting, but obviously wondered if I would ever get better. In my 2-story house, I had to sleep downstairs because the thought of making it up 13 stairs was near impossible. Not being able to, gosh, that was really hard. My pulmonologist was a huge help. He challenged me to keep trying, which felt impossible all by itself, because when you are desaturating simply to walk to the bathroom or to the kitchen to get yourself a drink of water, I couldn't leave the chair. That's really hard. And this is coming from a girl who has been nigh unstoppable. After about a month, I was not improving enough to satisfy my impatience. So he recommended I come over to New Heart Rehab. They called me pretty quickly and scheduled the appointment, got me started. At my very first walk test with Jackson, I cried, honestly. But he was very kind and just encouraged me to keep going. He made me laugh. And I walked for a whole minute, 1 whole minute. And my heart rate was all over the place and my oxygen saturation just plummeted. And I thought, okay, well, guess I can start at the ground level. It's something. They gave me a workout plan, which looked nothing like the workouts that I had been able to do before COVID. Being here at New Heart, having the staff here teach me exactly what I could be doing and showing me a goal for my heart rate, a goal for my endurance, and keeping tabs on that and asking, are you bored? I could only make it for 2 of the 3 days a week for the first several weeks, because any more than that I would just leave exhausted, and the next day I was complete zombie. Then after that, I started turning a corner, and 3 days a week became no big deal. It became a joy to come to New Heart because I knew that I didn't want to let myself down, I didn't want to let them down, and I knew they wouldn't let me down. So seeing them when I walk in the door and it's, hey, Mrs. Weaver, how are you? How are you doing today? Are you ready for your workout? And it took about a month and a half to get there. Heart rate was starting to stabilize all of a sudden. My blood pressure was no longer completely erratic. When I first started at my first workout, I was able to do 2 minutes on the first level of the elliptical. I had 6 liters of oxygen. I can do 20 minutes on the elliptical at level 6 with no oxygen. I can do the weight training and the strength training and all of that without any oxygen. I have very little brain fog. I'm thinking clearly, I'm thinking as fast as I'm used to thinking, and listening to the encouragement and keeping on pushing and challenging. I know I got this now. And I'm so grateful, because that really is. I leave every exercise session ecstatic. Like, I call my mom and I'm like, hey, here's how I did today. Because I really I feel like I could conquer the world.